Hi everyone. The kids are too shy to come on camera to share their memories of their yo-yo. But according to uh, Leah, her favorite memory of her yo-yo was when they went to SM Consolacion um, together the last time he came home in 2024. Jamie remembers writing on his feet to put him to sleep. When he was here, they always stayed in his room. Sometimes, actually, most of the time, they slept there with him. And then Arya, her fondest memory of her yo-yo is video calling every day and just playing games on Messenger until he falls asleep. My fondest memory of Papa Bong is actually the last few years, because we became really close. In fact, I didn't feel like I was a daughter-in-law anymore. I felt like he really treated me like his daughter. Every conversation that we had, even if the kids or Ken wasn't there, he would end the call with an "I love you," and he was just really a good listener. Like, sometimes when he would call and Ken would be working, I would be the one talking to him, and I wouldn't notice that we've been talking for hours already about the kids and the house and updates and his plans. So I just really miss him, but I know that he's resting now, and I know we will see him again soon.
For me, what I remember him by is that he was just present, and he was available. Um, he he did what he said he would do. He would always um, deliver. So if he says he will do something, he would really do it, and he would never forget. So I was very consistent. He would call regularly, and when we agreed to do something, or when he would say we would buy something for for this and that, he would always, sometimes I would forget, but he would always be there to remind me. So that's one
Never
of,
forgot birthdays.
yes, he never forgot birthdays either. He would not forget events. He was always there, even though he was far away. He'd be the first one to call and ask how it went. And for birthdays, he would be like, "So, what are you guys gonna do?" Sometimes he would be the one to remind us of certain events, and that's one thing I would always cherish and remember about him. It's very it was very dependable, and he was just there. He was present. He he was there for us. He was there for our children.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mimi Saceda Damole. I'm the fourth sister of Nonong Papa Bong, one of the two left in the Philippines. Thank you everyone for sharing this time with us in remembering the life of Nonong. He was always looking out for us. He was our eldest and the only boy in the family. Even when I didn't realize it, he was very protective of us in his own way. Not overbearing, not loud. He was just there. He was steady. He had a lot of friends, aside from the cousins. from his school days, his basketball buddies because he loved basketball, neighbors in the village where he served as president for the longest time I can recall. He was always present. When our kids needed to be brought to or sent home from school, when we were not able, he was there. And I'm just so happy that he was able to come home 2024. We were able to bond, especially with his 6 apos. They were his pride and joy. And I think they gave him the additional drive and the joy to keep on living. So we mourn the passing of Nonong, yet we are grateful for the opportunity to know him and share life with him. We will miss him, but his life and his image will forever be remembered, especially in the lives and faces of his children and grandchildren. I love you, Nong, and in the sweet by and by, we will meet in that beautiful shore.
My name is Ray, Mimi's husband, and probably, undeniably, Papa Bong's favorite brother-in-law. I came from a big family. In fact, I have 5 brothers. But sometimes Papa Bong's influence in my life makes me think that he's more than a brother than all my 5 brothers combined. As a new father with 2 small children, he would give me advice on how to take care of Mariel and Adam. And he taught me how to drive. And he taught me how to drive my wife crazy as I recycle his patented corny jokes. I remember when I entered into the world of politics in my hometown in Consolacion back in 1998. He was genuinely concerned about my safety, that he accompanied me in our sorties, especially in the upland barangays. So he was my security guard, he was my political advisor, and he was my #1 rah-rah-rah sis bomba supporter during my campaign. And during the proclamation of winners, when my hand was held up high by the board of canvassers, he stood at the back observing me with his hands across his chest, wearing a silly smile, looking like a father so proud of his little boy during a commencement exercise. Si Papa Bong, he is like Imelda Marcos, and he has a big shoe collection. But unlike the former First Lady, Papa Bong is extremely generous with his prized collection.
Yeah.
They have given me 4 pairs of sneakers. And
The last time you were
the
there.
last time I was there. One thing I remember about Papa Bong, he loves card games.
Chika-cha.
Chika-cha. But he hates losing. And I have caught him several times with his sleight of hand switching cards. But I never exposed him because I love him. So as we lay Papa Bong to rest, it is our prayer that God will grant his soul eternal peace and rest. Papa Bong lived a short but impactful life. And may your memory, Papa Bong, inspire us to continue your work of kindness, generosity, and humility. Rest in peace, Papa Bong.
We love you, Papa Bong. We love you, Nong.
Hello, I am Tara, the niece of Papa Bong and the daughter of Nanay Tabikoy, which is the sister of Papa Bong. And a very important moment nga that I would remember Papa Bong by was the time that I spent like about 4 months in Elk Grove, so in the Pianella home. And every night we would have our daily chikicha game, Papa Bong, Tita Pinky, and I. So we would be playing the chikicha, like a Filipino card game, up until midnight. So
I was tasked to do the tallying of the scores every game, every night for the whole time I was there. And in our tally, Papa Bong was top one in first place with it was a total of 809 games, and Papa Bong had 305 games nga, which he lost. He was top one of being the loser in our Chikicha game. And so there was one night that he played the usual Chikicha night, and he was the total winner of that night. And we were saying like, "Oh, good job, Papa Bong, nice game." And as we were cleaning up the cards, I noticed there was one card missing. It was incomplete. So we were like, where's that one card? And it's an issue because the Chikicha game is you have to finish, like, put down all your cards. That's how you win. And the next day, that morning, Papa Paul was kanang kotowing his coffee, and then he saw a card under the placemat, the same place where Papa Bong sat that night. So I was like, hey, Papa Bong, you won by cheating? And he blamed Mamala. Mamala of all people. So that's how it was a fun memory of Papa Bong, and I'm so blessed to have that with me. So, yun lang. Love you, Papa Bong.
Hello, I'm Tulips. I am one of the nieces of Papa Bong. This is Jerome, my husband, and this is Anya, our daughter. I haven't been to the US since Papa Bong went there, but my most recent memory of him was when he came back to Cebu 2 years ago. So we ate in one of the restaurants in Nomads. One of the restaurants in Busai, where the owner was one of his friends in Villa del Rio. So it was a nice reunion for us. I fondly remember Papa Bong as our Santa Claus during our Christmas Eve celebration. We back here in Cebu, we open our gifts at 12 midnight, and he would be the one to distribute the gifts. So I would miss him as our Santa Claus, and I will miss his presence.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adam. I am one of Papa Bong's nephews, currently living in the Philippines. So, when it comes to Papa Bong, he was a constant presence in my life. I could still remember as a kid, he brought me to my first basketball camp, and I didn't know what number to get, so I used to wear number 5, which was his birthday, August 5. So he was always there to help if someone needed to bring me to school or to a school event, or my parents were busy, and we'd have long conversations about basketball and how he loves the Lakers. Boo! And even when he was in America na, he'd spend, even though he was super busy, he'd spend time for me and Luel also. He'd bring us to, what's that name sa kuan? Kanang clothes place?
Which one?
Ross. He'd bring us to Ross to buy random stuff. Or he'd bring us to like random places sa Sacramento, just so that we'd have fun. And so he's always been really, really good to us. And I don't know what to say. So we miss you a lot, Papa Bong. And I don't know what to say lah. Okay, that's it.
Hello, I am Luel. I am the nephew of Papa Bong. My mother is the sister of Papa Bong, and I think I have two big experiences with Papa Bong that I can share to you guys. The first memory that I had that was significant was when he was still in Cebu. I was around 12 years old at that time, and I was riding a jeepney going to the city, and unfortunately, someone got my phone and robbed me, got my money, my phone, everything that I had. And because of that experience, I went straight back to the house and cried a lot. And then the first person that went to my house and actually helped me in finding my phone and helping me go to the police was Papa Bong. He was very available at that time. He's really generous with his time with me at that time. Another experience that I had that was significant with him was when I was in the US. He was very generous with helping me with my clinical experience. He helped me learn how to drive in the US highways, and he was still generous with his time. He helped me um, go from the house to the clinic and back and forth to teach me how to drive in the highway. And also, whenever I go to the US, he always gives me shoes since we have the same size 11. I remember going from Cebu, I was bringing just 2 pairs of shoes. But going back to the Philippines, I was already bringing 10 because he had a lot of shoes and he was more than willing to give not only to me but to Tatay also, who's my father. So I think to sum it all up, I think one character trait that Papa Bong impressed in my life is his generosity. Amen.
Hello, I am Rani, Tatay Rani, the brother-in-law of Papa Bong. As I call him Nonong. Nonong, Papa Bong is the person who always say no. Instead, he will say yes to all our requests. Driving to the airport, fix us, roam around, and even I've been with Nonong when we went to Sac State. He drove me there and then to see the professor. And the best is he's the person who lifted us up with Luigi when we were the champion of the Mamala Open Pickleball Tournament. And Papa Bong, thank you very much for these shoes, pair of shoes, and we love you so much. God bless us all.
Hi, family and friends. I am Mai, and I am Papa Bong's niece from the Philippines. Growing up, Papa Bong was just down the road from us, so he was very nearby. He was a constant presence in my life growing up, and he was just one phone call away. So I have a lot of memories with Papa Bong, but I guess the most important ones would have to be first my driving lessons with Papa Bong, as he was the one who taught me how to drive. And the most important one of all would have to be him naming our biggest, goodest boy, si Tommy. Tommy is our black lab, and he was named Tommy because of his fur, which is black, and black in Bisaya is itom. So if you switch Tommy around, then it's or if you switch itom, then it's itomi Tommy, and that's how he got his name. So Papa Bong was the one who thought of that. I will miss you, Papa Bong. Thank you for being a constant, strong, and yet quiet presence in my life. It was through your actions that I felt your love and care. Love you.